discussed about the different looping control statements within the Java programming language. Hence, I can understand that I understood the concept of whatever I have been explained yesterday. So, looping is nothing but just I will regraph the things what I have learned yesterday. That is, loop means executing a block of statements a number of times, and within that one you have learned with what do you mean by while, do while, and a for, and lastly we had been completed with the break and continue statement. While is nothing but called as entry control loop, because it is going to check a condition, then it enters into the loop, and also it is called as the pre-testing loop also. Pre-testing means before entering the loop or before entering the set of block of statements, it checks the condition. If the condition is true, then only it executes with the statements. We have been seen with a simple example also. Then next to that one, you have studied what actually meant by do while statement. Do while is nothing but called as post testing loop or exit control loop you can call. Why it is called as post or exit? Because before checking the condition it enters the loop once and then afterwards checks the condition. If the condition is true, it executes with the loop statements, otherwise it is going to come out from the looping statements. We can call that one as a post testing or exit control loop. In the last statement you have seen what actually meant by a for statement. For is nothing but called a looping statement, where each and every statements are defined within the single statement, like initialization or a counter or a condition or a increment or decrement statements will be redefined within a single statement itself. We can call that one as a for statement. Then moving to the next statements, like another sort of looping control statements, they are break and continue. Break means stops the execution of a previous and continues with the next sort of statements which are present within a set of blocks. Once again I will repeat, break is nothing but called as what? It is a statement wherein which it is going to execute the next statements and stop the previous statements. That is called as break statement. And the continue is one thing, it stops the next statements and executes with the previous set of statements yesterday have been seen. Today we'll be going with the very next method of your Java as an array. Understand from this particular statement here that can store a fixed size. Fixed size means you are going to define. There is a lot of difference between a variable and an array variable. Variable holds only one value at a time, where array is going to hold homogeneous set of elements at a time. For example, a is equal to 5 is a normal variable which stores only 5 value within the a or a variable a, but a of 5 is equals to 1 2 3 4 5. You can define like this way. So whatever the declarations you are going to make, either it is, if it is int means you are going to define for array int values. If it is float values you are going to define. So here there is an example of syntax: char opening and closing brace referential array, referential variable, or ref variable. What do you mean by this one? You are going to define all ref var with character values. Next to that one you are going to have int. Next you are going to have the short, and you are going to have with long and integer. It is going to define with double dimensional array. So there are two different types of arrays are there. One is called a single line dimensional, which is going to have a single subscription, and you're going to have a two subscription means you're going to have with two dimensional, where single dimensional array accepts either a row or column. where double dimensional array is going to accept with row as well as column. So some of the initializations are given here. Int age equals to new int of 5, means age is going to hold the 5 different types of ages, which is shown in the next statement. Int age of 5 is equals to 22, 25, 30, 32, 35. So 5 different types of ages are stored within the age of 5. How they will be stored? If your array started with 1, so a of 1 is equal to 22, a of 2 is equals to 25, a of 3 is equal to 30, as on it is going to store. Or if age is started with an index value as 0, then you are going to have with a of 0 is equal to 22, a of 1 is equal to 25, and next to that one. So this is how you are going to define with this is how you are going to define with this is how you are going to define with the values of an array. So this is the part of